wish to call to order is a meeting for a joint meeting between the two bodies.
A roll call for City Council, please.
Council members Menuchyan.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Mayor Friedman. Mayor Pro Tem Weaver.
Here.
Roll call for the Housing Authority.
Authority members Friedman. Menuchyan.
Here.
Mincy.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Razian.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chair Quintero.
Here.
May we have your report?
The agenda for the March 6, 2012 joint public meeting of the City Council and the Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, March 1, 2012 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. Before you this afternoon is the Director of Community Services and Parks regarding completion of the analysis of impediments to fair housing choice and fair housing plan, AI plan. 1A is a council motion approving the fiscal year 2011-16 AI plan and authorizing submission to the AI plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD. B is authority motion approving the fiscal year 2011-16 AI plan and authorizing submission of the AI plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you. Mr. Cho, are we going to Mr. Duran directly?
Yes, Mr. Duran will be giving the report on the AI plan, sir.
Mr. Duran.
AI is a planning required by planning process. State and local housing fund are not only expected and required to. Should I start over?
No.
Okay.
Be all right.
We could hear you fine.
Are not only expected and required to refrain from discrimination themselves, but to take steps to advance the goals of fair housing and to use policies and programs to promote open and inclusive patterns of housing, and to analyze and remove any obstacles to housing. The term of this analysis of impediments is 2011 to 2016. Once submitted, from time to time, HUD will be monitoring the City of Glendale in terms of its compliance with the analysis of impediments. I would like to note that this year we did partner with the City of Pasadena, and with the City of Pasadena we issued a joint request for proposal to secure professional consultant services, and the Community Services and Parks Department also teamed up with the Community Development Department to coordinate the development and the preparation of the fair housing plan. At this point, I would like to turn over the presentation to Ms. Veronica Tam of Veronica Tam and Associates, who served as our planning consultant.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon. What I would like to do is just do a really brief presentation of what is...
Could you just give your name for the record?
Veronica Tam from Veronica Tam and Associates. Our office is located in 107 South Fair Oaks Avenue, Pasadena.
Yep.
And what I like to do is just a very simple presentation about what is the AI and why we're doing it, what's the scope of the analysis, and what's the steps that the City of Glendale has taken in order to complete the fair housing analysis. The AI, as mentioned before, is a requirement. It's part of your consolidated plan requirement. It's part of the requirement in order to receive the Community Development Block Grants, the Home Investment Partnership Act funds, and also the Emergency Solutions Grant. It used to be called Emergency Shelters Grant, but now it's been changed to Emergency Solutions Grant. In order to receive this funding, the city must sign a certification as part of your annual application for funding that you would actively further fair housing. By signing that certification, it commits the city to three different things. One, you must conduct an analysis of impediments every 5 years or so. Two, you must maintain records of what you have done to further fair housing. And three, you must, once you identify the impediments, what are the things that you are doing to actively mitigate the impediments? Those are the three things. Annually, the city hires a consultant, the Housing Rights Centers, to provide fair housing services and maintain records. But every 5 years or so, the city is required to conduct this AI. the AI really looks at, from a jurisdiction's standpoint, what are the things in the public sector, what are the things that are in the private sector that may be impeding fair housing choice. The AI looks at, is required to look at the demographic characteristics of the community so that we know who are the residents of the city of Glendale, what kind of potential impediments that they may face, and then we look at the housing market conditions. We also look at a lot about the lending patterns that are impacting a lot of people, the foreclosure patterns, the predatory patterns, any issues with access to financing. But on top of that, we also look at public policies and primarily cities' regulations and standards. If those are found to be impeding fair housing choice, we have to provide a resolution to that and to mitigate those particular impediments. So that's essentially the scope of the analysis. In the AI, there's also an action plan that outlines what kind of actions and recommendations that the city will pursue over the next 5 years, provided funding is available. And with that, annually the city needs to look at its funding allocation and see what you can do regarding to mitigating the impact. So that's basically the AI. In developing the AI, we did a couple of things. One, we did a survey to just kind of gauge the extent of fair housing, the perception of housing discrimination in the community. The survey was available in 4 different languages: English, Spanish, Armenian, and Korean. It was available in hard copies, and it was also available online. On top of that, we did consultation meetings with specific groups, landlords, apartment owners association, housing professionals. We also did community meetings with residents. And so with all that, we did work with staff to come up with the potential impediments and what are the feasible things that are within the city's control. And there are a lot of things that may be impediments out there in the market. However, those are things that the city have no influence over, so we don't really commit the city to changing anything. But however, if there are things that the city can feasibly work on, then we will include in the AI as future actions to undertake. And so that's really the AI in a nutshell. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you for the report. Is there a motion?
I'll move 1A.
For the council?
I'll move 1A for the city council.
Second. Okay, roll call?
Council members Manukian,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Quintero,
Yes.
Mayor Friedman, Mayor Pro Tem Weaver.
Aye.
I have a motion for the housing authority.
Second? Too late.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Authority members Friedman, Manukian,
Yes.
Mincy, Najarian,
Yes.
Barazian,
Aye. Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
Mayor Quintero.
Yes.
Is a motion to adjourn for the council?
So moved.
Second?
Stand adjourned.
Motion to adjourn for the housing authority. We are adjourned.
Thank you for coming with the report.